$39.90 from none other than Nicky Butler, who started his career on Portobello Road in London, those huge antique markets, which you'll love as well. Moving on as we go through this show, choices, options. The bad news is, as I said before, is that they're not very deep in quantity, so you do have to be very, very quick. But we've certainly the vast majority of this show is about Studio Barse. And George Barse, who was born in the late 1800s and died about 1938, something like that, was certainly known for his the Library of Congress and his contribution to that. Remember, we showed just a few moments ago in the 5 and 5 the ring, right? Have a look. This is the Studio Barse white howlite and hematite jewelry. You got a pendant or a bracelet. We showed in the 5 and 5 the ring. If you remember, that very first item out of the 5 and 5 was the ring that matched this piece. So the necklace is going to be about, I should say the bracelet that's an option here is going to be about 8 1/4 in length. 8 1/8 quarter in the length of that one. You also have that stabilized, compressed, what they call black and white howlite. It's in a free form, which is a huge piece, by the way. It's 16 by 16 millimeter. Then we have that black hematite in a geometric shape, which is 15 by 11. A couple of things you have to appreciate here is, I guess it's almost like that Art Deco style. First and foremost, oh, we are got the ring on, very excellent. The ring there that we showed you in the 5 and 5 items a few moments ago, and that's hematite in the center. But you think about that period, Art Deco, and there's just literally a snapshot, a blink in the eye in the way of history, but how impactful it's been through architecture, through jewelry. I mean, if you're down there in Miami around the Ocean Drive, of course, the architecture, all of that beautiful Art Deco design. The bracelet, I just been informed, sorry, did you say? 110 bracelets only still available. That's why I say, if you have got the HSN app, that makes things very, very quick for you, or maybe if you're shopping via remote with our wonderful, one of our Roku systems that we've sold you here at HSN, allows you to be able to go through. But I should be thrashed. I should have told you this much earlier. If you combine your shopping up to $50 in total value